Hello there YouTube, it's your Webby3, back with another kicking comic book haul. Today is actually mostly manga with a couple trade paperbacks, and this is all stuff that I got while on vacation. Yes, a lot of these were actually bought for me by my partner, because I kind of provided the vehicle and the place to stay, so he wanted to do a lot of nice things for me while we were there, even though it really wasn't much trouble on my end. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff today. Some of it I've read, but most of it I haven't gotten to yet. All of this will be reviewed on this channel, so if you're interested in my reviews of any of these, definitely hit subscribe. First up, we have Kaiju number 8. This has been pretty popular recently, even outside of Kaiju circles, so I definitely wanted to check it out. I don't know if the anime is out at the time of recording this, but it should be soon, I think. This is volume 1. They had up to like 8, which I think was the most recent one when we were on vacay. It's been a week or two now, but I mean, it's a really cool cover, really cool looking kaiju. That's about like a guy turns into a kaiju and his like dream girl is a kaiju fighter or something. I don't know. I didn't want to look too much into it. I just know it's kaiju, and therefore I'll read it. And then next up, we have the manga adaptation of Kamen Rider Kuga. If you're unaware, Kamen Rider Kuga was the first Heisei Kamen Rider, and admittedly, I have not watched Kamen Rider Kuga. I've watched a lot of Kamen Rider, but since it's not a show that you have to watch in order, because the different seasons follow different characters and even take place in different timelines, you can kind of just watch them in pretty much whatever order you want. So like I've seen like Agato and a lot of other, you know, early Heisei stuff, but I haven't seen Kuga, so I can't really compare it to the show, but I'll probably, I know for a fact I'll definitely read this before I end up watching Kuga. And me, you know, I'll buy anything Kamen Rider, which is why I also just went ahead and got Volume 2. You know, I said I wanted to read Kaiju 8 and make sure I liked it first, but this is Kamen Rider. I'm gonna read Kamen Rider no matter what. It's gonna happen. Okay? I love me those commony little writers. Oh, so much. Yeah, and I really like these cover arts. I like how biological he looks, even more so than in the show. I really dig that. And I'm sure this will probably be a lot different. And I did also read that big, giant, complete collection of the original Kamen Rider manga, and I'll be reviewing it very soon. And next up we have Go-Go Loser Ranger. The title is clearly reminiscent of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is kind of a different take on the toku genre. A different take on the whole Monster of the Week thing. Kind of subverts the genre and parodies it as well. There's like a Sentai team that saves the world from these monsters, but then they basically like enslave these alien monsters or something, so that one of them can attack every week so that they can destroy them and they can basically continue to be the heroes. Very interesting concept. It's almost Alan Moore-esque. I mean, I know that's really high praise for a book that I haven't read yet, but I've heard this is supposed to be pretty good, and they had several volumes of it as well, but once again, I just went ahead and bought one, and it's about one of these Kaijin, or Seijin, I don't remember which one they are. I guess you can be both. One of them, like, becomes a ranger and fights back. Very interesting concept. It sounds exactly like the kind of thing I love. Can't wait to get into all these. And I usually don't read a lot of manga, so this is very new for me, getting so much manga. Like Dinosaur Sanctuary number 1 here. This one kind of kicked off this manga buying spree for me, because I bought Dinosaur Sanctuary number 1, and I loved it. It's an educational medical drama. Like, they're dinosaur zookeepers and vets and stuff. It's not like Jurassic Park. In fact, it's basically the opposite of Jurassic Park. The dinosaurs are treated like normal animals, which I suppose they are in Jurassic Park as well. That's one of the reasons it stands out, because the dinosaurs aren't just straight up monsters, even though they quickly became that in the franchise. Very quickly, actually. But in this book, they're like any other animals, and their research consultant, Shinichi Fujiwara, is a real-life paleontologist who does a great job on this book and almost feels like a co-writer and not just a research consultant, in all honesty. It's very good. I've already read Volume 1. The ending was amazing, which is why I had to go straight back and get Volume 2. I spent a lot of time in that Books A Million. We were in there multiple times. The Dinosaur Sanctuary 2. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the beginning of this volume, but, you know, by the end of it, I was like, yeah, that was a good book. So I'm very excited to read Volume 3, which, you guessed it, I have. This one, as I said, I haven't gotten into yet, but I will very soon. It'll probably be the very next thing I read. You can see it's got a accurate Spinobino right on the front. Spinosaurus, if you will. Very cool. So it's about like the new girl whose father is like one of the people who discovered dinosaurs, and she works at this like dinosaur zoo, and she's going around learning about all the new dinosaurs and stuff. It's very interesting, super educational. Like, in real life, this is true. In real life, I work with dinosaur fossils. I'm not a paleontologist, I'm a thanatologist, but I work with museums, specifically on fossils. It's not all dinosaurs. Actually, most of it isn't, but some of it is. And I'm learning stuff that I didn't know, and I'm glad. I'm glad it's not just the generic info that you would expect. It's not even the generic dinosaurs that you would expect. Sure, Spinosaurus is pretty popular, and you got Allosaurus and Triceratops, and, you know, it's like all the more popular stuff on front. That's Giganotosaurus, by the way, not Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus comes on in this book, not this book. But then it's got like Psittacosaurus, which is very quickly becoming my favorite dinosaur. Sorry, Baryonyx. Sorry, Therizinosaurus. Psittacosaurus is catching up to you. But yeah, let's move along to Batman Beyond, Batgirl Beyond. This is a book I've been wanting for years. You see, the place we went, my parents really lucked out many years ago and were able to finally get the beach condo they'd been saving up their whole lives for much earlier than expected. So I was able to take my partner there, and every time I go to the Books A Million and I get a Batman Beyond book, because they had a bunch of Batman Beyond books for like $5. So every year I'd get one. And this was kind of the last one from the batch that I needed, and they only had one left. They clearly aren't really restocking much in the way of U.S. comics. Like, they had almost no Marvel and DC in the bookstore, but they had a ton of indie and third-party stuff, and a bunch of manga. Like, an unholy amount of manga, but almost no Western books that weren't indie. Very odd. But this was the last one, and it was the one I needed. I went into Books A Million being like, I gotta get Batgirl Beyond if it's still there. It'll be insane if it is, because I didn't go to the beach for a span of like 5 years. But then it was there. That's the last one, so I had to get it. Hopefully it's as good as the other ones from this run that I've read. And then last, but most certainly not least, we have kind of something that's the best of both worlds. So this was all Japanese stuff over here. This is Western. And then here's a combo. Kamen Rider 01. This is kind of a comic book adaptation of the first Reiwa Kamen Rider. I also haven't watched 01, but it's like very high on my list. I will be getting the Blu-ray for 01. You betcha. And I did do a quick flip through this, and it's definitely not Monster of the Week formatted. It looks like one villain for the whole book, which is good. So I'm already positive it'll be very different from the show. Because, you know, all these Kamen Rider shows are Monster of the Week format for the most part. Maybe not like Amazon's and Black Sun, but I'm not sure they count, huh? The ones that are for kids, a younger audience. But yeah, this is another one I'm really excited for. So Dinosaur Sanctuary 3 and Kamen Rider 01 here are the ones at the top of my list on this review. Very excited for them. Super duper excited. I love Kamen Rider and Tokusatsu. But yeah, quick recap. We have Kamen Rider 01 Volume 1. We have Batman Beyond Batgirl Beyond. Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 3. Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 2, Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 1, Go-Go Loser Ranger Volume 1, Kamen Rider Kuga Volume 2, Kamen Rider Kuga Volume 1, and Kaiju number 8 Volume 1. So a lot of good Kaiju, Toku, and dinosaur stuff. I know everyone on my channel really likes that kind of thing. and I'm very excited to be bringing it to you soon. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember, rate, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links in the description below. Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 1 will probably be the very next thing I review on this channel. So hit subscribe and the notification bell if you want to see that. That's it. Thank you all once again. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.